Hello and welcome back to my grass monotype of Pokemon Emerald Omega. In the last episode, we made our way here to Verdanturf Town, and now it is time for us to head back to Moorville, and hopefully there we will be able to take on Watson and successfully defeat him in order to get our third gym badge. But the first thing that I think we will do that will certainly help us along that path is actually evolve some of our Pokemons. Some Pokemon. So the first one we're going to evolve is obviously Lombre, with our Water Stone. So as we discovered in the last episode, the mart here in Verdanturf sells a lot of the evolutionary stones, which is incredibly useful for us. With 3 of our Mons needing stones to evolve, 2 via leaf stones and 1 via water stone. But obviously the thing that to always remember with stone evolutions is that stone evolutions generally do not get any future moves afterwards. They tend not to get moves, additional moves once you've evolved them once. Once you've evolved them, which is a bit of a pain. Certainly a pain, but essentially I think the thing with this much of this playthrough is we're going to need to be constantly going back to the move relearner and just testing things out there, because ultimately we're not going to know whether we actually have the have a Mon that was going to successfully learn those moves yet, unless we're essentially, if we're looking, like, we won't know exactly the moves that we can get until we check the move relearner over and over again, because the movesets have been changed in such a way that is not 100%, at least I haven't found any documentation for it, which is a bit of a pain. It says on the wiki, on the Poke community page, that it's essentially as close to, I believe they said it's close to Gen 6 as possible, but they also wanted Mons to have improved movesets, so that's that could be seen as being particularly difficult or not. We'll see what it does. Oh, interesting. So we can actually get a Pokemon from this old lady. What Pokemon do we get? We get an Eevee. Okay. So, that's quite interesting. And that's the girl whose boyfriend is trying to tunnel through. So yeah, we'll just quickly deposit the Eevee away, seeing as we already have 5 of our members, and the last one is most certainly not Eevee. But yeah, no, the lack of sort of distinct or true data for the movesets is actually quite the pain. What was that? It seems to want to be babied a little, does Gloom. If we swap in... Just interested what they say. Oh, your Pokemon, it seems to be very happy. It obviously likes you a whole lot. Ah. Thank you. Thank you, Bayleaf. Much like Bayleaf in the anime, actually. So another thing we'll probably want to do is we'll probably want to try and get some more evolutions. You might be wondering, why aren't I evolving Gloom? And that's exactly for the reason that we were just talking about. Essentially, limited move sets of Vileplume, once it evolves, means that there are, I think there's a couple of moves that I would like to see at least get via which we can only get as a Gloom. So I'll hopefully get those and then be able to essentially move forwards. Problem we are finding, or at least the problem I'm certainly having with this, is that the wild Pokemon are not competitive in terms of their level, relative to where you should be at this point in the game. So it's quite hard to grind, which is a little bit of a worry. But we'll see how it goes. We will see how it goes. I believe now we have a battle with Wally, so let us do that. I also... something I should do. I have selected it. I just don't know what button I made my select. It's the silly thing. That's the... Oh, there we go. Okay, so it's cool. So, we'll have this chat with Wally. He's going to want to challenge the gym. The uncle will say no, and then essentially he asks to have the battle with us. And he starts off with a bay leaf, which is at a distinct disadvantage against my gloom. Goes for the grass whistle, which is essentially a worse sleep powder, which itself is a worse spore, obviously, and spore is certainly the powder move we're essentially looking for. So he brings up the Curlier, obviously confusion, any such move like that is going to hurt a lot. So we'll go into Shiftry just as a, just to essentially soak that up. And we can feint attack here. It's stab. It's neutral, obviously, because fairy resists dark. But no, that goes well. We'll just keep feint attacking here. There's really no point. We are distinctly over-leveled, as we have been for much of this. The Eevee is interesting. I might try and use this to see if I can get Bayleaf to evolve. I don't think we will, because there's no way enough. Half of that experience is not going to get Bayleaf to evolve, but getting a Meganium before Watson would actually be quite useful, because I predict Watson to be pretty difficult. Like, even though grass naturally resists electric, we're going to struggle here. So they want, So yeah, so once again we meet Scott, who says that, he idolizes trainers like us. We also trounce Wally, who somewhat appreciates us not, babying him. I hope. We will just see if, I can't remember exactly what do they give us anything if we go back in Verdant Turf? Okay, yeah, so he's just essentially saying, like, you know what, I'm gonna be stronger. Default Pokemon message, as it were. Okay, Watson. Yeah, so even though grass naturally resists electric, I predict there to be a decent amount of sort of coverage available to these mons, which is not ideal. Okay, so we have Wally on the Pokénav. Lovely. Anyway. So, yeah, Gloom and Bayleaf out. We'll try and get as many double battles, just to sort of share that experience. I do like the option in this game that you can obviously choose to have double battles or not. I just like double battles as a whole. It's always a nice sort of mix on the standard Pokemon battles sort of formula that we have so often. Okay, so we will Mega Drain the Electro, and we will just Razorleaf as well. We could get hit by a Psychic type move from the Monotype, which could be a problem, but we'll see. Thunder Wave comes out to paralyze my Bayleaf. Monotype goes for the Rock Smash, which is, I think, increased base power, but nothing to worry about. We will again, if we cut through, Electrite goes for Thunder. If we cut through Paralysis, we maybe not with the Reflect, actually. But maybe get double KO here? Nope, obviously not. Actually, we can Acid here for spread damage. Thunder, Rock Smash, Acid, takes them both out. Lovely work. And obviously now Bayleaf will still get, part, at least some experience from this battle as well, when I switch out, which is always good. I don't want to be relying on Shiftry too much, just because Shiftry is like, obviously the one that's more higher, obviously highest in level. So we see Rain Dance, which is interesting. Rain dance is always annoying. As we see, Thunder Punch and Flash, which is not particularly fun, but there we go. Once more, we can Mega Drain, and we'll just... no, we might as well just... Gloom grows to level 30, lovely. And we see the Pikachu. Once more, we can Mega Drain the Pikachu and Mega Drain the Pikachu. They like using Thunder, which I... oh, it's because it's raining, of course. I was just thinking, seems a bit bold, but... it's obviously not if they're... we'll just... we'll Bubble Beam the Magnemites, and we'll... because obviously, in the rain, we are both faster due to Swift Swim, and also our Water-type moves are boosted, which is really useful. Obviously, we are neutral to all moves now. You know, we are neutral to the Electric-type moves, as opposed to resisting, as all of my other ones do. Cool. Okay. Good victory there. I sort of foresee a lot of victories, so sort of a lot of the matches in this gym are going to be similar to that. Like even there, they were just obviously just, you know, essentially spamming electric type moves to try and wear us down. But also the thing about electric is paralysis, and no one likes paralysis. I'm sure Watson probably likes paralysis, but anyway. So another double battle. We'll see if we cannot get our Bayleaf to hit that level. So Voltorb goes for Sharpen. That's probably Sharpen Explosion. Not good. So we will Mega Drain you, and we will swap you out, because you're the one I want to at least get some experience. Voltorb goes for Thunder, which is fine. We'll just double into the Voltorb slot. I'm more worried about that right now. Luxio comes in. Even if what's this Illumise doing? It's thundering. It doesn't get stabbed from it, which is good for us. Oh, you're kidding me. I get that it's increasing his Spadef, but he should eventually kill. There we go, lovely. Illumise's Mega Drain. Okay, we'll just Poison Powder you and go back into Bayleaf. Since I've it wouldn't be, I would highly expect this to be Illumise and Volbeat. Yeah, exactly. Tail Glow, that's more interesting as a move, but again, we do resist the Thunder, which is fine. Do not like the Parafusion you're trying to get on me. There we go, lovely. Still no evolution, which is a little annoying. So, James was around for a long time. He was battling before your daddy was born, that tough coot. He has a shiny forehead, and it makes me happy. Okay, so unfortunately, the only way back is now through this guy. So we will leave Bayleaf and hope that we can get an evolution, because Meganium would be useful. I'm almost certain Meganium evolves. Sorry, almost certain that we get evolution at 32. Indeed, I would be very disappointed. There we go, okay. So we want a Sweet Scent. No, screw that. Ferret. So, are we talking just like a group of normal rodents? Yes, we are. Adafang is a lot. Goes for the Dig, lovely. Okay, that's fine by me. Dig is going to do far less than Hyperfang. just because I don't want to faint. Shift tree. Things out. Fake out. Lovely. Bayleaf is going to evolve. Lovely. Awesome. So yeah, it's interesting to see sort of what sort of level we are. It'll certainly be interesting. Like, I think the gym leaders tend to be slightly higher level than their underlings, which means that we could well be in trouble. Baby Fossil and Petal Dance. Sorry, Meganium. Base 120, special. I'm pretty sure Meganium has even stats in it. I'm pretty sure it's like even in both attack and attack. I might be wrong there, but I have a feeling it's even in both. Which in which case means that sort of should be relatively similar stats-wise. What do we have? We have 64 and 53. So currently higher attack. It may well be that it is just no higher attack. In which case, Petal Dance isn't really the move that we want, but there we go. Okay, we will have to now decide how to go about this next gym. So, Gloom, your idea, the idea with Gloom is to just essentially get, probably just to get some paralysis off on an enemy, something like that. Similarly, sorry, not paralysis, just some form of status off. Similarly with Shroomish, like Shroomish does a very similar thing in that matter. Like we can get poison off on an enemy, or if it strikes it, we could get paralysis, stuff like that. Anything useful in that sort of regard. We have a lot of sort of status moves and stuff like that, and that's pretty much what's going to be the case. So, I missed the first bit anyway. And so, I put time into making door traps in my gym. Oh, now what are you doing here? What's that? You see you've gotten past all my rigged doors? Wahaha! Now that is amusing. Then I, Watson, the leader of Morville Gym, shall electrify you. I just generally can't remember if I was doing this for all the gyms, but there we go. Okay, Raichu, level 28. Goes for the Rock Smash, which obviously has the chance to lower our defense, like that. Still, we'll go into Gloom here because we resist. We definitely resist. And then we can just Sleep Powder here. Shockwave obviously has that potential to paralyze, which is worth being slightly cautious about. But that is also the TM that he gives out in this gym, so it's probably his most common move. Lantern! Okay, we can definitely deal with this, I would think. Again, I would expect it to do some form of status. I'm not an idiot. I'm not going to stay in. And let him just... He may well just try and essentially paralyze the majority of my team. Okay, he has Ice Beam. It's worth staying in here. Like, yes. Well done, Shroomish. Okay. The thing with Shroomish is that I'm incredibly slow, so there's very little to get from... Like, even Gloom now, Gloom is incredibly slow because of the paralysis and everything else. There's no point in going to Gloom because I'll just essentially take damage. It makes far more sense for me to go into Shiftry here, which will almost certainly be faster, and go for that Fake Out, which will obviously be faster. Okay, he sends out the Porygon. It's normal type. What are you going to do? I'm going to go into Gloom initially, just to see if it wants to like do a status move or something like that, because Shiftry is definitely my most important one right now, and I need it to be fast, because if he's got ones like well, electric mons are known for being fast, right? So therefore having something like a Manectric or something could have really used in that. Don't kill me. And of course, well, those were two turns that I wish didn't really happen like that. So we'll go into shift tree again. We'll fake out. Feint attack might kill from there. It's difficult to say, and I don't want to risk it. So we'll go into Meganium as our sort of next fodder, as it were. And again, we'll try and Poison Powder. He's got Signal Beam. That is also relatively scary. Get a Leopard Berry, which is always good to know. Okay, so Shift Tree, Fake Out into Feint Attack. Will kill the Porygon as he sends out the Jolteon. So yeah, so here's a one that, you know, someone that definitely learns Pin Missile, amongst other things. So Shockwave initially comes out. We will Fake Out because 3 damage, and then we will Bubble Beam. I'm telling you, the odds of paralysis seem to be high. So Shift Tree versus the world. Fake Out is obviously priority. We have 2 Mons left. The first one is the Manectric, which I would have loved to have been able to Fake Out against. So we will, because it's still faster than me. Okay. So how do I deal with a Manectric that's still faster than me, even though I'm level 37? So we had some bad luck, but essentially, so that first one was the Raichu, and all that wants to do is essentially paralyze something, and then it also gets static, I'm sure. So we don't really want to be slapping it around with like our Fake Outers. What else could he have as an electric type? The Porygon was the biggest problem. It took out 2 of my Mons. Psybeam for the Gloom, and Signal Beam for literally all of my other grass types, including Shift Tree, which will take a bunch from it. Like, a bunch from it. I don't want to get paralyzed, is the thing. I think Meganium's got like the most staying power, as it were. We'll try it once more, but as we found with quite a few of these gyms, it may well just be a case of that I die an awful lot before eventually, you know, I need to like grind up some Mons for a little bit. I think there are some more trainers on the left that I should be able to battle as well, which is worth remembering. I wonder why he uses Rock Smash. Is it worth? Yes. It's definitely worth keeping you as a sack. Let's go for Rock Smash. We should go into Ludicolo here on the Rock Smash. So now we can Fake Out. And Poison takes it out. Beautiful. Really, really nicely done. Okay. Interesting. Interesting that he brings out the Porygon now. How do we deal with this? How do we deal with this? Do we just Bubble Beam? I think we just Bubble Beam. I think we just spam Bubble Beam, and we'll see how much... Oh, you're kidding me. Wait, we lowered his speed, and he's going for Signal Beam. Do I think that Gloom is faster? What is your speed? Your speed is 36. You're 63 and worse faster. Porygon isn't naturally fast. Obviously, being paralyzed is not ideal, but I reckon I'm going to go for the Gloom is now faster because Signal Beam is only neutral on me, and then I can Mega Drain and take you out. Lovely. Gloom Glow's level 31. Okay, and Ludicolo's at level 34. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Okay, so Lantern obviously wants to go for Ice Beam. Along with some form of paralyzing move. I think we just Mega Drain here. We do just Mega Drain, that does decent damage. And just pray that we can cut through paralysis at least once more. Of course, no, because the game does not like me right now. I think Shift Tree kills with Fake Out into Feint Attack here, so like... If Shift Tree kills, I think we just have to take it in many ways. Okay, the Jolteon comes out. Which means I think we go into Shroomish and see what it wants to go. Okay, it's just trying to Thunder Wave, that's fine. We'll try and get some form of... I don't know why even try sometimes. Meganium. Can I please move? Like, it looks like this Jolteon, thankfully, does not have a Bug-type move, which is really good for us. And it means that my Meganium completely walls it. And means, as long as I can hopefully cut through confusion here, yes. Okay, I finished the Jolteon off at full health, lovely. So out comes the Manectric. We know what this can do, it's just going to essentially flamethrower me. I'm going to go for the Petal Dance here for max damage. And we hit and do over half, which is great news, because that means Shiftry can come in. Obviously we do not outspeed, but we can fake out Citrus. Which means I should definitely go into Ludicolo here, because we resist, well, we're neutral to the Flamethrower. Might as well try. Nope. Did not want me to do that. Okay, fake out into feint attack. You're kidding me, I get burned, that's going to kill it. It's going to kill the run. Okay. We got close there, very close. Like, we're a few levels off. We thought everything through there, but if he hadn't burned me, then that would have done more. Really, we need Shiftry to be faster than the... I think if I'd done... I have nothing that walls that. Nothing at all that walls that. So yeah, I just need to start leveling up some mons. Gloom. So yeah, like I said, I think I got a couple of battles around here that we still haven't yet done. So we'll just use this as for the rest of the episode, and then we'll probably afterwards we will come back and if you could have not attacked the Rosalia, that would have been great. Unless it's like forced, in which case that's fine. Good work, Blue. Well done, Blue. Petal Dance on the Shroomish. Shroomish dies. Out comes Weeping Bell. So yeah, it looks like that for some reason Petal Dance only works on the Mon directly in front of you, which is a little silly, but there we go. And something I did not know. Meganium and Acid. Ah, great work. Gloom just rocking a shot there, which is great. So yeah, we won't try again this episode at least. I'll probably just grind up some more off screen as well, get everyone around Shiftry's level, around 38. It's frustrating, but I think that's just something that's just going to happen throughout the entirety of this run with grass types. Like, it's just a fact of the matter that grass is not a strong type, and the mons, at least that I'm using, are not going to, you know, have the flexibility that they could do. And these electric types are a pain. Like, the other thing is, obviously, I can prepare with some berries. Like, try and get some, whatever the paralysis resist berries are as well. Because I think that's also something that is probably worth doing, is actually doing some berry farming. Just because, you know, if I can stop paralysis, then maybe I can stay in on the Porygon with my Shiftry and do double feint stack, because at the moment he's only trying to paralyze me, so that would work quite well. Or I can equivalently give paralyzed resist berries on my Ludicolo and stuff like that, and that could work really quite well. All as different options, things to think about, I think, is certainly how I'm going to view it moving on forwards. But yeah, it shouldn't be too bad. Shouldn't be too bad. Like, we got so close in the last one, which is always a good sign. Like, if we can get that close, then there's definitely more there for us. And I think keeping our two main hitters, which are currently Ludicolo and Shiftry, if we can keep these two alive, it's good to know that, say, our Meganium can completely wall the Jolteon, for example. I can just bring it in on the Jolteon and I can stay and completely destroy it, essentially. So that's already, you know, that's a matchup that's set up, and then the others, I pretty much need Shiftry for the main Nectric and other things. So yeah, we'll work it out. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this episode for what it has been, a series of defeats. But then again, in these harder series, in these harder monotypes and stuff like that, then deaths have always been a common thing. So we will not be deterred in the next episode. We will come back and we will be victorious against Watson, and then we'll start heading north up towards Fiery Path, Route 111. And then maybe try and get to Fall Arbor. I think Fall Arbor as well will have the move tutor as well, which actually reminds me that I believe there is a secret heart scale around here. And heart scales are really important, at least from my perspective. There we go. Because, like I said, we're going to be checking in with the move relearner a lot to see if we can learn more moves, and so having the heart scale is going to be really useful, because if I can get a super powerful, you know, if I can get a stronger move on any of my mons, I'm going to very much appreciate it. Or just get a move that I missed because I haven't, like, been, you know, because I evolved these too soon, for example. Like, Ludicolo could use a much stronger grass type move. So if it learns, like, if Energy Ball or something like that is like a level up move, that would be really useful. So yeah, we have options, we have things, but yeah, so there we go. Yeah, I will see you on the next episode, where we will hopefully be taking on Watson, taking him down. I'll see you then.